Wow, bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
Girl, I'm good. I'm good. Had some cafecito, so
hmm
I'm
hmm
feeling ready.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. And just a quick message to everyone logging in right now. Thank you for logging in. Thank you for being here. You could be anywhere right now, but virtually you are here. So thank you. My name is Michelle Lara. I am a proud HLI3 alumni. I am also a program manager here at Leadership Tulsa, where I now get to facilitate and develop this amazing program. So, hola, bienvenidos, welcome.
Yes, hola a todos. I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to see everyone's hard work come together. My name is Ana Barros. I graduated in class 4 of HLI, so I'm excited to be here representing my class and also here to support the new class. Like, so exciting. A little bit about me: I am a teacher here in Tulsa. I teach 7th grade at the Tulsa School of Arts and Sciences. I've been teaching for 4 years, and I'm pumped to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We are so happy, y'all, to just be here today to really just showcase all of the hard work that our Hispanic Leadership Institute Class 5 has done this year. So many thanks to our generous sponsors who not only made this showcase a possibility, but really the reason why we're here. The program, the Hispanic Leadership Institute program, could not have happened without the support from community partners. So thank you for giving us this space to really develop ourselves and continuing to support nuestra comunidad. Um, so to get us started, the Hispanic Leadership Institute is a program that became because of a collaboration with the Tulsa Latin American Chamber of Commerce and Leadership Tulsa. This program became because honestly, our Latinx and Hispanic leaders were ready for more. We're here for it. We're ready for it. Let us get into it. So, thank you for that collaboration. Again, to just really branch out into this space and really explore what leadership looks like for nuestra comunidad. So, to give a little bit of background, the first class kicked off in 2000. Marcia Bruno Todd, aka La Gran Maestra. Yes, give her a round of applause. Go ahead and react. And so since then, the program has continued to grow. I mean, look at us. Anna's a HLI alum. I'm HLI alum. And we have had the privilege of just working with many more individuals like ourselves to really just continue to connect and continue to foster growth here in our community in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So, yay, we're here. As a proud graduate of HLI3, I also got to experience something similar to our HLI Class 5. In that I got to do a community impact project and I got to flex those skills by showing up for my community alongside other individuals. The biggest difference, though, is of course just the shift in the world. We had a pandemic, we went virtual, and now we're doing things from a little square on your screen. So, welcome to this virtual space. I will say though, one thing that has not changed and that has continued to stay constant in these showcases is the purpose. We're here tonight to really just take the time and the space to honor all of the hard work that has been put in by our HLI Class 5. Um, they're out here doing big things, y'all. Big things. And I'm just like, yes, I get to see it all. It's amazing. These wonderful individuals are out here just supporting nuestra comunidad and really just putting in the work to continue for a thriving Tulsa. So it is our hope that you watching tonight here in this live showcase, that you get to leave today as community leaders and members, and you were able to learn more about just this dynamic group of powerful leaders. And that you too are also just as inspired and motivated as I am when I get to interact with these people. Because I tell you, every time I leave a session, I'm like, woo, girl, get it together, because they are not playing. They are here to do work. So I am so gracious to share this space with you all tonight. Anna, thank you so much for being here with me. I could not have had a better co-host to be a part of this with me.
Always, girl.
Yes,
I'll do
absolutely.
it. Yeah, oh my God. I'm so excited. I know when I got to do this last year, even just the process of sharing my experience and having to reflect on like what I learned and what my project was and things like that was like already a powerful learning experience for me. So
Yeah,
hopefully this is just like as powerful of an experience for the audience and for those of us on this side too.
for sure. For sure. Thank you, Anna. Now, let's go ahead and get us started. So, we are going to see a presentation from the first group. Anna, do you want to take a moment to introduce this group?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, this first group is made up of 11 community centered leaders who spent the last 7 months developing their leadership skills here with HLI. And then they got the opportunity to flex those skills by supporting Union High School's Hispanic Student Association, which wanted to connect and support the Latinx and Hispanic student population in the Union Public Schools District. So, as a teacher, I'm definitely so excited about anything that has to do with this. So, I'm looking forward to meeting these folks.
Yes, thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Darlene Lamarche.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Martino.
Hello, my name is Ariane Betancourt.
Hi, my name is Jesus Santana.
Hi, I'm Carla Fuentes.
Hi, my name is Juan Diaz.
Hi, my name is Dayana Shiplet.
Hi, I'm Nicole Fino.
Hello, my name is Jeanette Quesada.
Hi, my name is Juan Hernandez and we support the Hispanic Student Association here in this multicultural event here at the Union High School.
Hi, the Hispanic Student Association is here to help them navigate through high school
By providing leadership opportunities and safe space for them to find
Common ground and help students navigate beyond high school.
We supported the Hispanic Student Association by
Using our resources to provide a DJ for the event, gather donation gift baskets to encourage participation, recruit vendors related to health, social justice, and entrepreneurship, and help spread the word throughout the Hispanic community within Union Public Schools.
It's been a pleasure being part of this event.
Estamos aquí pues apoyando este fabuloso grupo de estudiantes súper talentosos y creativos que pusieron en práctica este gran...
This event is called
Y'all look awesome. Y'all look awesome. Great job. Super excited. Super excited. Super excited. Y'all gonna kill it. Y'all gonna kill it.
Ella es licenciada de Zacatecas, México, y quiere ser diseñadora de interiores.
Sí, yes.
Tammy, how can others get connected?
By emailing Linda Felstein.
If you want to support the HSA students, you can make a donation that will help them to organize future events. If you want to do so, you can contact Linda Felstein and this email.
Wow. I'm the whole time, my heart's just, yes, yes. Talk about representation.
Oh my God, that was so beautiful. I thought I knew what had gone down with that, and there was so much more than I thought. So that was amazing.
Yeah, it was a beautiful night. And honestly, this presentation was like a perfect little snippet of what that night was. It was just such a wonderful event. And man, they put in some work. HSA put in some work. They carried that out beautifully. So I'm so excited to get to chat with our group. I'm like, oh, look, we've got some joining us. Hello, welcome. Bienvenidos. Hola, Carlos. Hola, Tammy. Hola, Juan.
Hola,
We were just
hola.
talking about how much we loved your presentation.
Hello.
And we just, yeah, loved it. Beautiful presentation. The event looked so amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us virtually so that we can pick your brains, hear a little bit more about the brilliance behind the team.
Please, I want to know.
Yeah, that video warms my heart too. It's so cute. So and we did so much. You're so right on that. Like the group, they had planned a quinceañera pageant, there was dancing, there was concession stands, there was a game movie room for the babies,
Oh my
a photo booth, and then like all these resource tables. And so it was a full-on event that we were so happy to get to be a part of, right, y'all?
Yeah, it was so inspiring to see young Hispanic leaders in a high school setting. That just gave me more inspiration as well as a leader of like, oh my gosh, these kids are doing this now in high school. Imagine what they're going to do in this community in the future. So it was like so heartwarming and such a humbling experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the beautiful things is seeing the community connected, bring the parents, professor, friends to this very beautiful event. That was amazing to see all these people connected on the community.
That's incredible. I mean, I have a million questions for y'all, but I'm going to start with some easy ones and then we'll kind of build up. And we also definitely have some people, if y'all are watching and have questions, comments, like keep putting them in the comments and we'll call them out. But I guess we have kind of a question for each of you. And if y'all also want to chime in as we go along, you can do that. But Juan, this first question is for you. When you came into the HLI program, so before any of this started, what were some of your thoughts? Like, why are you here? What were you hoping to get out of this? What were your thoughts at that time?
Yeah, well, I came from Florida like 9 months ago, and my expectation was connect the community. I remember Michelle interviewed me for this opportunity, and I was expecting more like a network event, right? But this program exceeds my expectation. Definitely. I mean, that was a program that connect professionals, skills, very important people from the community, and all the skill set connected to the community. That's part of the program that bring and caught my attention and keep me here until the end. And I hopefully continue doing this program here in the community.
Yay.
I love that.
I love that, Juan. Sorry, I got so wrapped up and I'm just like, yes, Juan, stay involved, be a part of it. We need you. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that insight, honestly, because at the end of the day, it's like we are participants of a program, but every
Correct.
program has been different. It's the same, but it's not. So yeah, I'm so glad to hear that that was the impact. Tammy, I am actually curious to hear from you too, because you have a lot of youth work background or youth development background. So I'm really curious to hear, what was your biggest takeaway from the collaboration that you carried out with the students and Linda Felstein over at the HSA? Tell me about it. I'm curious.
Yes. Just kind of like to answer that and to add to Juan's answer as well. Like I came into it knowing that it was going to be very Hispanic. I was like, I know y'all going to get us in a room together. I don't know what's going to go down. But that leadership component really came in. They weren't kidding when it was an institute. We had these programs where we're learning things, but it had like a mixture of like therapy, like some release, some cultural like relation building where we like understood ourselves and others. And it was cool to like, once we felt super primed and energized with these lessons, to go out into the community and then collaborate. And so we had the honor of getting to work with this high school group of students, many of them first generation, that created this club because they saw a need in Union High School of a community that needed to be created, a space where they needed to have the things that they wanted for themselves. And so that collaboration came at a point where we were both ready to work together and create this vision that they had. And to answer the question in this chat too, there's so many Latino youth leaders. So the support you can give is just connecting them to these opportunities. Because with the background I've had in youth work and getting to see this group in action, they are the next generation of leaders. They're future HLI class members in the making. And they have so many fresh and new ideas. And so trust them, let your adult guards down, and really see what they have to offer the community, because they are part of the community. And so, and for those young Latino leaders, trust your gut, because y'all blew our minds any chance that we've had to connect. And so I am so hopeful for the future of Tulsa because of young people like the Union Hispanic Student Association students. And so.
My head is gonna pop off my body because I'm like nodding so hard. I love that. I'm so curious, like, what was that process like? Like, did y'all arrive and the kids already had ideas? Like, what was your role? Were you like facilitating? Were you helping them brainstorm? I mean, it seemed like so student led. So especially as a teacher, like, I want to hear, what was that relationship like? And anybody can answer that question.
Well, I was going to say the students came with an agenda. They knew what they needed us to do. And as the Hispanic leadership leaders, we were able to just say, okay, tell us how we can support. And they really made all the plans. They came up with the quinceañera show. They came out with the games that the children were going to play while the parents are getting resources. So it was very inspiring to just see such young leaders already thinking in the balcony, right? Like, we're like balcony thinking here. And so we got the opportunity to just serve and be able to say, you know what? I have connections. Let me connect with other members that I met through Hispanic Leadership Institute. Let me connect with other leaders that are trying to impact Tulsa, right? And be able to connect the students to this and be able to make face. And it was amazing. The students were on top of it.
I love that. There's another Leadership Tulsa program called Tulsa Change Makers, and something that they talk about a lot is like authentic youth involvement, authentic youth leadership, and like, how do you make sure that when you're working with youth, you are actually setting them up to be leaders and not just like kind of tokenizing them, right? So it's like, oh, we have kids involved, but they like set up the event. And like
We're
what
telling them what we're doing, that kind of stuff.
right. And what I'm hearing from y'all is like I love what you said. Let me connect you, right? So it's like they bring the ideas and y'all bring like your knowledge, your skills, your connections, your network, Juan, right? You're like, and maybe some perspective. But you are not like taking over the project or telling them what to do. And like that is a huge leadership skill, whether you're working with youth or not, right? But definitely like because of our perspective as adults can be, you have to tear down a lot of socialization on there. So that's amazing.
That's so wild you mentioned Tulsa Changemakers too. The HSA and Tulsa Changemakers, it was like a full circle moment for me with this project because a lot of the youth I work with in my Youth Leadership Council were HSA graduates or were involved in Tulsa Changemakers and had that kind of opportunity already to do these things. And so there wasn't that fear of adults not getting it. And I love that they had that opportunity, and I want that for other young people too, because yeah, I was like, I know you a teacher. So I was like, yeah, it was me and Juan also had the opportunity to go into their setting in the high school and get to like attend a couple meetings and really see them like in the planning processes, right? Delegating responsibilities. I saw someone with a notebook that was like full of all these details and then emailing it to us, all while like being in high school, with all the other things going on. And so it was really cool.
Yeah. One of the funny part is when I get there with Tammy, I see they have the schedule, everything, the time. And I was looking, see all the notes, and they reading, okay, this is going to be the first part of the event. We're going to do the quinceañera. And I was thinking, what I'm doing here? I mean, I don't think they're going to need us.
They don't need me.
Yeah, they have everything set. And the beautiful part of it is they visualize that event on their mind, on the notes. And then being there on that event, it was everything that they wrote. They have a plan. So imagine if they do that for that event. Imagine if they do for, let's say, for a future project of Tulsa or for business. I mean, I definitely going to hire them for sure.
Yeah, and it almost felt like we were like big sister and brothers looking out for our little siblings, like because they were doing so great. You're like, I'm so proud of you. Yes.
That's how it started. That's how it ended. We started where we're like, we are so proud of you. Thank you for connecting with us. And then at the end, it was like, we are so proud of you. Thank you for connecting with us. But also, like, here's my business card. And I was like, let's keep this, like, bridge of, like, leadership going for Tulsa. And then they're already in that mindset. They wanted the resource tables to be about business, social justice, health, about college, because they see already that there are things in Tulsa that the Hispanic community aren't getting direct resources for. And so that was also a really cool passion piece, because you worry that like those pieces might get lost in like a quinceañera details and this and that, but that was something that was in the background the whole time, and a real like an integral part of the event that I think was the main reason they put it together. And so just I can't. I'm a proud relative. I'm just sitting here gushing. I'm just like,
a relative.
And I was gonna say they made it like they told us, make sure that everything is in Spanish. So it wasn't like I'll bring resources in English. It's like if you're going to be a sponsor or coming to provide resources, that it's also in Spanish. And so that was the North Star of like, we really want to meet the needs of our people. So that was amazing to see how they were willing to say, like, no, we need Spanish speaking.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my God. I wish I could talk to y'all forever. Maybe I'll meet up with you at the coffee station after this. But we do have one last question. This is for Carla specifically. What would you tell anyone who's interested in or thinking about applying to HLI and doing something like this?
Well, for starters, if you feel inspired by just this little snippet, it's already a yes. And then I will also want to put out there that if you're just curious, curiosity, apply. Because like to answer like Juan's like answer as well is I didn't know how to get connected with my own community, my own type of people, and I didn't know. And so I just knew that I had to try something different. I've done a lot of leadership in my workspace and things like that, but never really like Hispanic leadership. And so just that curiosity and just applying, I did feel like Tammy, it was very therapeutical. I was able to identify some identity things that I didn't realize that I had deprived myself. And so I can stand here and be so proud of who I am and coming in proud saying like, I'm Latina. Like, I know there's some things that I can fear, but I'm not scared of that no more. And so I would say if you're just curious, apply, and you're going to get something. You're going to get something. So apply. It is worth it. So worth it.
And not just for a year, like I already expect that this will like affect like the leadership that I do moving forward. And so
yes.
Wow. Thank y'all so much. I just like the whole time I'm like, yes. Oh my gosh, I love this. Yes. So thank you, each one of you, and for the rest of the HSA group. Thank you all so much for the work that you did, for this beautiful presentation, and really just supporting these students as they honestly navigated their leadership journey, because that's what you did. You were a pillar of support for them during their journey. So thank you for that. And thanks for joining, y'all. Have a great one.
yes, thank you.
Bye-bye.
And for those of you who are joining us virtually, if you are interested in supporting or connecting with the HSA, feel free to reach out to Linda Felstein at Union Public Schools. She is an amazing person doing great things for our community and is supporting students like the HSA. So, wow, Anna, how are you feeling?
You know how I'm feeling. It's all over my face. I'm inspired. I love it. I mean, on top of everything we said about students, right? It was also like so incredible to see the showcase of talents and just like the richness of our community, you know? We are everywhere, girl. And every time we are able to come together in any way, it's like, it's just so inspiring. So I love that also young kids were able to experience that, because a lot of us grow up like not being able to have those types of like intentional connections like through our identity. So great.
Yeah, I love that. And I loved how Carla kind of called attention to a very specific detail. And she said that the HSA used language as like their guiding star. Like if it's not accessible, it is not for us. And they were very intentional about how they carried out not just a fun and engaging event, but one that really showed the representation of just the dimensions, the layers of Latinidad. So really getting to see that showcased in a beautiful event that was community centered, that was there to give people access to resources that they maybe never heard about before, and also giving the quinceañeras the time to use their dress again. Like, hello, that's a win-win for me.
I never got a quinceañera dress.
Me neither. I told them I volunteer as tribute. I will be the quinceañera this year. I will do whatever you need. It did not happen. No se me hizo, but that's okay.
When I turn 30, I'm having a double quinceañera, and you're invited, Michelle.
And everyone else here on the live stream.
Yes, you're all invited.
You're all invited.
Yeah, I think one last thing that just really inspired me and that inspires me about HLI in general is like so many times in our community, you talked about like people not having access to resources, right? And I think it was so beautiful that it was like our community that found the resources that mattered to us and then made sure that it was accessible to us and then made an event for us, right? I think that's so powerful, because like a lot of times we experience, you know, people who are not us trying to help, and that's totally fine too. But I think it's a beautiful thing when we are able to do that for ourselves, and you know, and it shows.
And really just, I mean, to add to that, I mean, shout out to las familias que asistieron al evento y estaban allí para apoyar a los estudiantes, para estar allí para sus hijos. That's huge. Like what a huge impact to have nuestra familia, nuestra comunidad there in a space like that. So yeah, I'm just so in love. All of the love.
El amor, el poder.
Sí.
Yeah. Love it.
Awesome. Well, now that we've saw the first group,
Yes.
I guess we get to see what the next group is talking about or what they have going on. Do you want to introduce this group as well?
Absolutely. Some big shoes to fill. But I am so excited for this one too. So this next group has 12 team members of driven, dedicated leaders who came into the program ready to learn, ready to connect, ready to get to work. Y eso es lo que hicieron. So these líderes came together to support a new organization in Tulsa, the Tulsa Global District, which is focusing on highlighting, supporting, and celebrating the multicultural richness of the 21st and Garnett area, my old stomping grounds. So, vamos a ver. Let's take a look.
Hi, we are the Hispanic Leadership Institute Class 5, presenting Tulsa Global District, the square at Nam High.
We are Hannah Elizabeth Chaboya, representing the Arc of Oklahoma, Tati Sanchez, representing City Year Tulsa, Esther Salas, representing the Lawyers of Kendall Whittier, Jenny Saldivar, representing Davis, Brenda Montes, representing the Lawyers of Kendall Whittier, Marcelo Hernandez, representing Aeropoint Solar, Roland Barraza, representing Hope, Veronica Perez Morales, promotora, Claudia Chavez, representing Tulsa Tech, Maria Alejandra, representing Growing Together, Blanca Oaxaca, representing Morton, Ray Perez Trejo, representing Pertreach Group.
We support the Tulsa Global District, a diverse area of Eastern Tulsa who is under revitalization through the Main Street program, whose mission is to develop a community that is focused on safe and welcoming neighborhoods, inclusive economic development, and the celebration of the multicultural diversity that has existed in this area for years.
So we supported the Tulsa Global District, the Square at Nam High event held on March 5th, 2022. This free multicultural festival included food trucks, music, market, activities for all ages, and dance performances.
What did we do to support the Tulsa Global District, the Square at Nam High event? We volunteered at the event. We held weekly meetings to prepare for the event. We had flyer distribution and social media promotion and collected data surveys.
How can you support and get involved? Encourage people to visit and support small businesses within the Tulsa Global District.
Follow small businesses on social media and share their posts to promote their services.
Write in reviews online for small businesses.
And tell your friends and family about the businesses in the area.
Also attending events held by the Tulsa Global District and volunteering.
Joining on any board meetings and share any concerns that you may have.
Exploring different types of businesses.
And advocate for financial support of the area.
Being respectful of the areas and the businesses while visiting.
Invest in the residential and commercial opportunities that this diverse area has to offer. So if you want to get connected, visit globaldistrict.org.
Follow Tulsa Global District on Facebook and Instagram for any upcoming events.
You can also directly contact Lisa Krug, the Director of Tulsa Global District, by emailing director@tulsaglobal.org.
Wow.
Wow.
How awesome was the video?
I can't believe they didn't get a video of me with consomme all over my face, my shirt.
Yes.
I was out there. It was such a beautiful event.
It really was. I think one of my favorite things of it was the live art installation that they were kind of creating as the community was kind of filling up the space. They were filling up the art, which I was just like, wow, that's so cool to see. But also, man, talk about that message. That's awesome.
It was so beautiful. The whole thing. I'm excited to meet our friends who are here today to tell us about their project.
Yes, yeah.
Spring
Yeah,
and
we got Tati logging in, Esther and Hannah. Hi, y'all. Welcome.
Hey.
Hello. We were just talking
Hey.
about how much we loved your presentation and how Anna and I were honestly kind of nervous that the camera was going to catch us eating our tacos. So
I was a mess. It was windy that day. There was
It was.
cilantro everywhere.
The food was delicious. The food was delicious. Well, thank you three for logging in tonight. It's so good to see you all. Anna and I did get a chance to meet with the other group, and we got to kind of have a little bit of a chit chat with them just to hear about what they did. So we really are so excited to hear from you three as you represent your TGD group. Anna, would you like to start the questions off?
Yes. Yeah, I'm so excited to hear about this group. Such a beautiful event. We're gonna start off with Hannah, if that's okay. I'm curious to know, how do you see yourself and maybe others in your group staying involved in the Tulsa Global District beyond this project?
Thanks, Anna. We were super honored as a group to be involved in this project. Not only is the culture beautiful, as you all know, it takes the whole community to really make this happen. And so we were definitely excited to be a part of this undertaking. It is an economic development process. So we see ourselves continuing to be involved, whether that's on a committee or volunteering for an event, possibly going to board meetings and things like that. Just showing up, and we think that other businesses, if we could take a chance to interview them more and see how they can collaborate as well and take ownership, that will be very important, as well as the greater Tulsa area community at large.
I love that. Thank you, Hannah. I really like just hearing you all talk about how excited from the beginning, like, okay, I get to be a part of this group, when you found out what group you were going to be a part of, to, hey, we're going to do this event. And I'm like, okay, y'all are keeping me busy with these events, but I will be there 100% to support. And so, yeah, y'all are doing just amazing things. Thank you so much for that. Esther, I actually have a question for you now.
Yes, go ahead.
So what are some ways that you plan on staying involved with the HLI family, the HLI program, just our community? How do you plan on staying involved with us?
Yeah, well, I've always just tried to stay connected with my community, growing up with youth programs and everything. So as soon as I joined HLI, I knew that this was going to be something that I was going to take on, not just after we graduate and everything, but continue to plug into my community. So definitely probably join the HLI advisory committee, and just whatever doors open after that, I'm definitely here for it.
I love to hear that. Yeah, we got some comments popping in. How rewarding. Great job. Yes. Great job. Exactly. Y'all killed it. Y'all came in there and supported. And this event is one that a lot of people were talking about afterwards because it was so much fun. It was just such a good time.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love what Hannah said earlier about, like, it takes a community, right? And we talked about that with the other project as well. Like, this was people coming together, and it cannot work without people pitching in. I know this is so random, but my students, for one of their final projects, also helped the Tulsa Global District with things related to this event too. They were putting posters up around the school, making videos, and trying to get like the young people to show up. So, there's like like Luisa is a genius, you know, she's like bringing together so many amazing people. And so it's really, really cool to see. And then like what you were saying is that like, now let me bring that into my community, bring more people into HLI, you know, offer more like leadership development, because there's so many skills in our community, so many perspectives, so many amazing things that we can do. And sometimes all it takes is kind of putting us in a room, giving us some common vocabulary, giving us some like books to read, I don't know, and then like just sort of make it happen. So that's really awesome.
And we definitely want to thank on behalf of everybody, Louisa Krug as well for all of her visionary work on this project. And Michelle Lara, of course,
Oh my gosh.
for your leadership at the Hispanic Leadership Institute. We definitely want to thank that. And our visionary team, everybody, Esther and Tati and the rest of our team that helped on this project. We don't want to forget them as well.
Yeah, it was really awesome just seeing the passion and dedication of all of our group, not only just the Tulsa Global District, but all of our HLI class. It's just so empowering to see how dedicated and passionate people can really be to their community. And just like Anna said, I mean, 21st and Garnett, that's my stomping grounds as well. And it was just such an honor to be able to be a part of that. And I can't wait to see what else we can do to plug in.
Yeah, and I will add, since the Tulsa Global District is so new, like, you know, it's going to be known in months, years. But I currently work at East Central Junior High as part of the city year team there. So I went to the amazing teacher that leads the change makers, and I let her know about this initiative, and she was like, "Oh, I haven't heard about it." But that's just like, you know, just making and letting people know about like something that's happening in the community that they're currently like living and serving in. I can definitely see like even those kids later on being more plugged into the Tulsa Global District and being able to like really lead a lot of those initiatives that are going to be happening there. So like that's something that's super exciting, and I'm just excited to be a part of. If I hopefully, you know, get placed again at East Central Junior High for next school year, of like just using the leverage that I have as the position that I currently hold for city year, and like going about and be like, hey y'all, like this is what's going on. Can we like try to connect? Can we start plugging in and getting more people and resources within like the schools that we work in as well?
Right. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, Tati and I have both worked at East Central Junior High. I was a 7th and 8th grade teacher there for a couple of years, and that like 21st and Garnett, you know, there's so much going on there, so much amazing talent and history and just like culture, right? So it was really awesome to see that being showcased. And at the same time, like even people in that community, in that area of town, like didn't know it was happening, right? And like, how do we make sure that it's not just like folks from other parts of town, but like, how do we make sure the community is investing in itself, you know? And I think the legwork y'all did, like every restaurant I go into on 21st and Garnett has a poster for like the square at Nam High, you know, has a global district poster. Like, I think that is even just those little things are so amazing. So, and Tati actually had a question for you, and you already kind of answered it, but we're gonna go bigger. So you mentioned how like this experience made you think about your role at East Central. How has like HLI in general? What has that sort of made you think about how you show up in the education sector in general? So not just like in the project.
Yeah, so this is a great question, because this is something that like, so I moved to Tulsa about 4 years ago to serve for the nonprofit that I currently work in for, which is City Year. Just got so busy, and I came from living in a community that was predominantly like Latinx to coming to a city that was like just so diverse, which is super amazing. But I always felt like, where can I go plug in the Latinx community? And then I ended up working at Kendall Whittier at first. And I got to like honestly work with students in a community that I was kind of like born and raised in, which was amazing, because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like other Mexican people here. You speak Spanish, I speak Spanish, let's talk. And then I had the honor and privilege again to work at another predominantly East Central Juniors, about 60% Latinx students. which was great. And then me being one of the only few Latinas within our staff at City Year, I got to thinking of like, what can I do to plug in more? What can I do to make even like students more aware of like their own identity, their own roles that they play within their lives as students in the community and just like in general in life? Because as we all know, like a lot of Latinx kids have a lot of different like, cultural things that like aren't necessarily the best, but it's like getting them to like really start thinking about a lot of stuff. And then one of the biggest things that I've been doing is for my job, I lead a lot of diversity, belonging, equity, and inclusion work. And that's where I bring in my own authentic experiences and my own authentic like views on things and just share them. And I think that's one of the biggest things for education is kind of starting to move forward towards like the more equitable work opposed to one size fits all approach. And that's meaning understanding other people's cultures and identities. So when I joined HLI, I wanted to do it to get to meet more people within the community that, I identify as, which is Latina. And my other thing, like within the sessions, I kind of like learned a lot about my own identity as a whole. And I learned a lot of new things that I'm just like, dang, I didn't know that. And I was able to take that and kind of like reflect on like who I to be and the type of Latina leader that I wanted to be for the generations to come. So that's a lot of that helped me before I could even like take that into the education world that I work in and be able to like train and explain to people like, maybe we should look at it at this view opposed to this view. But a lot of it honestly has to do with like equity. And that is meaning like teaching people and helping them learn their own identities to be able to move forward. And sorry, that was like a big answer to your question. But it's just something that I'm very passionate about and I'm like really looking forward to being able to like explore more in. And one of my goals is to start a Latina girl group within East Central Junior High. So hopefully next year we'll get that started. But that's just like one of my biggest things is just like uplifting like Latinos that we currently serve and especially Latina girls.
Wow. Wow. ¡Qué emoción! Yes. Oh my goodness.
So much there.
Yes, thank you so much to the three of you. Before I let you go, I have to ask you, this is the question of the hour. All of Tulsa wants to know. What is your favorite business, food or non, in the global district to support?
Oh, Michelle, that is a tough question. Why would you ask that?
Go ahead.
I mean, I can already
Esther.
tell you mine because this was mine, Doña Gloria's, hands down.
Same.
It is so good.
I mean, they're all so
I used to go
good,
once a
but
week.
Doña Gloria's, it's one of the best. Plug.
Okay, but truck or restaurant?
Restaurant.
Oh.
Both.
Yeah, restaurant.
Hannah
I like
says
both, but I'd rather sit down and eat my food and just like
Same, yeah.
a little dance.
I'm like, it's a whole experience.
I love that. I love that so much. Well, to also answer the question, shout out to Faith Nichols, our program fellow here at Leadership Tulsa, for introducing my family and myself to Asian cuisine. It is delicious. If you have not been there yet, go ahead and go there the next time after you go to Doña Gloria. So, well, thank you to the three of you. It has been such a pleasure. It was amazing seeing the work that you all did alongside your peers, the other group members. So thank you for logging in tonight. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. And let me know when y'all go to Doña Gloria's. I'll meet you there.
We'll hit y'all up.
I usually go on Wednesdays.
Good to know.
I'll see you there, girl.
Let's go.
Wow. And for nuestra comunidad who is joining us online, thank you so much for staying here, staying live with us right now, enjoying these conversations about comida, comunidad, impact. I appreciate you all joining us and really just helping us celebrate the hard work these leaders have been putting in. So thank you. If you are interested in supporting or connecting with the Tulsa Global District organization, go ahead and just send an email on over to Luisa Krug they are the person that you can reach out to get plugged in. So, yay! How was that, Anna?
Well, I'm hungry.
I
So
know.
that's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Also
You see
plug
Faith?
me best pho
Yeah.
in town. Some people might fight me on that, but look, I used to work right down the street, so yes, so good.
Well,
No, I'm
did you
just
see Faith's comment? I don't
I
know if
did,
it showed
yeah.
up, but she said Asian cuisine for lunch or Doña Gloria's for dinner, one of the two. I said, you know what? Doña Gloria's for breakfast, Funny for lunch, Asian cuisine for dinner. We have a whole day planned out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then you can go to Tortas y Jugos Caribe for some jugos.
There you go. There
Anyway,
you go.
yeah,
We
so
just
good.
have a whole food day planned out. So
I
if
swear.
you left with nothing from this showcase, you also got that added bonus.
You can't be a leader on an empty
No,
stomach.
you cannot.
Exactly. Yes. Leadership. It all comes back to it. No, I really I think it has been so amazing. Like I've lived in Tulsa for only 4 years, right? But in these 4 years, I've seen so many incredible Latinx leaders really pour into their community, and that's honestly what keeps me here. And I have so much love and care for the East Side. I got to see one of my students the other day. He's in the color guard at East Central High School. He was at the school board meeting in his little uniform. I'm still I have so much care for that side of town and that community. So seeing people pour their heart into it as it deserves is so amazing. So
Absolutely.
I just love it. I love it.
And shout out to all of the community partners, the businesses, the artists, and just the community and the vendors that showed up for this event. Way to represent. Way to represent. Yeah, Mimi said, so copying that. You can't be a leader on an empty stomach. No, you cannot. Sustainability.
Self-care, girl. Yeah.
Comida equals community. It sure does, Vince. It sure does.
Yeah. No, on the real, it may be a stereotype, but I don't think it is. We do come together, my family will eat for 10 hours straight if we need to. That's how we growing up. Whenever I go back and visit my family, it's so much of it and the connection and the care, the nurturing happens through food. So anyway.
Sure. Awesome. Well, to further highlight the work being done by our HLI Class 5, we have a few community leaders who have directly seen the impact of the work being done in our community by these amazing individuals. And those individuals wanted to share some words about what they saw and really the impact of these individuals. So, vamos a ver, let's take a look.
Hola, HLI, Joey Reyes here, Union School Board. I want to say thank you for working with us, partnering with Union, partnering with our students and our HSA Club, and making our event a spectacular event for our community. Thank you for all that you're doing. Continue the great work, the hard work, but you are making a difference. We love you and we are proud of you. Gracias por todo. Have a great day.
I just wanted to thank everyone for your participation in the Global Districts project with HLI. We really appreciated all your help passing out flyers and helping with the survey and doing research. It was great to meet all of you, and hopefully we can stay in touch in the future. I know we'll have a lot going on with the Global District since we are so new. And I know there's a lot to still be determined about what we do, so it'll be great to have your insight and your participation in that in the future.
Wow. Every video, I'm like, am I saying wow too much? Somebody tell me.
It deserves it. I love seeing our people.
Yeah. And it's just awesome to see how connected it all is. I know you kind of referenced some connections that you've seen. Even just the people from the other projects are talking about, hey, I saw this person there, but they were also here and they were working over there. That's really what community is about. You once you start working in community, you start knowing everybody because you start connecting those people.
It's true.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I love seeing just really having the conversations as a facilitator. I get to have the conversations with these organizations, and we're like, hey, I have some people, they've got some skills, they're ready, they're here for it. And seeing their faces light up like, yes, I need some people. Send me some people who are ready to put in work, who are here for the community. And yeah, it's just always really so selfishly, I love to be a part of that conversation.
No, I get it. And also, also shows the importance of having people like us in positions of leadership, right? And you don't need to be the executive director of a nonprofit or a school board member to make a change, but like it makes a difference, right? To have someone who understands, someone who's in a position of power, a position of influence, because we can do amazing things. So I just want to shout out Joey Reyes and Luisa Krug for not just being in those places, but also looking for ways to, empower the community and lift us all up. So
Yeah,
it's dope.
absolutely. Well, Anna, I know that we got to see some videos, but I remember you actually put a video together because you and I have had obviously plenty of conversations about just HLI alumni. What does that look like? So I've picked your brain, but I'm hoping to do it here in this virtual space so that people can kind of hear about, what your experience was like. So can you kind of tell me what your community project was and what you did, what the ultimate goal of that was?
Yes, absolutely. So, like I said, I was in HLI class 4, so a year ago. And my final project was actually working with the Latinx COVID task force. And, that was headed up by so many amazing people, Cynthia Hasso, Mimi Martinez, and so many people that I'm sure hopefully will chime in here. But what was the goal of our project was to just increase access in our community to like knowledge, understanding, and resources relating to COVID safety. So we put together a bunch of talks with experts around the city, completely either fully in Spanish or bilingual, just kind of debunking myths and, talking about like, what does it look like to keep your family safe in this time? And honestly, answering a lot of tough questions that it was just awesome to pull together people from the medical field and people from, the social work field and like all these areas. And then we also were able to implement some cool policy changes. So for a long time, I know it feels like forever ago, but we're still out here. On the form, when you register to get a vaccine or to take a COVID test or whatever, it would ask you for your social security number. And even though it didn't say it was like required, it didn't say the word optional. So we made sure that like either it said the word optional or that it didn't ask for it at all. And that was just like one step in hopefully creating a safer space for undocumented families or just families who don't want to share their information out there. So it was just, that was our project. And it feels like forever ago, but I feel like we got a lot done. Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I think it's kind of funny to hear, funny, ironic, whatever the word you want to throw in there. But really, I was in HLI 3 and our showcase pretty much wrapped up right before COVID hit.
Mhm.
So the next time I heard about HLI, I'm jumping in as a program manager. I'm supporting y'all. And y'all are not just dealing with the challenges that came from a pandemic, but you're supporting one another in the same instance, in the same breath. You're advocating for other people while still advocating for yourselves. And that to me was just, it's powerful. It's powerful to sit there and say there's all these obstacles that everyone is dealing with, but we're showing up to not just refine ourselves, but to also be a support for our community. So yeah, shout out to HLI for the COVID babies.
This one.
Yes. And also just a quick question, because you did have to navigate so many challenges and barriers through the pandemic of your own, what are ways that you all looked out for one another or that you supported, the group? Hey, how do we take care of one another as we're navigating these hard times? What were some of those things that y'all did?
I think first of all was just being very honest about what we had the capacity for, and like having really straightforward conversations, which I think we all in the last few years have had to learn to do, and it can be really uncomfortable. But I think that was a key leadership skill. Like, we don't judge if you are like not, all in, but like wherever you can help out, like we want you, right? So I think my group got very tight knit. We had like a very funny relationship with each other, and it was so much fun. And when we we kind of split up into small groups, and just everybody was able to like be very clear, like, these are my strengths, let me go in on like this thing, and then like that'll fit in with your thing. And that was really cool, because like you said, there's so much going on, right? And the work is so important, but taking care of ourselves was like number one. And there are so many people still from HLI4 that are like a significant part of my life as a result of that, you being one of them, and like so many other people who I feel like being in the thick of everything last year. And I was teaching virtually, so I was not with any of my team in person. I didn't get to meet my students until this time, till April. So it was a very isolated time, a very lonely time, and having something to do every Tuesday with mi familia, with mi comunidad, and being able to be authentic in those spaces, like that was self-care. As someone said, like it was therapeutic, so whatever we were all like each going through, we had that safe space and kind of took care of each other.
Wow, I love them. Thank you so much for sharing that, Esther. HLI Class 5. There's 4 other classes that may disagree, but this is your moment, so we'll let you have it.
I won't let you have it.
Yes. HLI 5, yes, the best for right now. A little healthy competition never hurt anyone.
You're right.
So Anna, I have another question for you. Because you are a leader who is immensely embedded in the community, you're here for our community, you're constantly doing things to support our community. What are your hopes for this HLI class, or really any leaders within Nuestra Comunidad?
Oh man, I hope first of all that you all take care of yourselves. Like I just said, that's so important. Like, we can't be leaders if we're not well fed. And like in a bigger sense, right? Like, if you're not filling your cup, if you're not taking care of yourself, like you can't do anything, right? I also think, like, don't forget the power of community, right? Like, we as a collective need to show up and make sure that we're not invisible in this city. I know when I first moved here, I was like, oh my God, there's no Latinos. Like, what is going on? I didn't know much about Oklahoma, but I was like, this community will not match my community, right? But we are so large and so here and so established and so powerful and so beautiful. So if you are someone who is either new to the community or just in general, like maybe like I don't have my people yet, like look for those people, pour into them, let them invest in you. And like I just know I would not still be here if I hadn't kind of made those intentional connections and opened myself up to that. And like I said, we're not an invisible community. We're not a silent community, right? So if there's stuff that you need to speak out on it. Like, show up, go to like these leaders that you've met, whether in your class or the people who came before you or the people, your community partners, like go to them, get mentorship, because we are here, hit me up, like we're here to support each other. Apply to more programs. But most of all, take care of yourself, and like your power comes from that. So
I love that. Gracias. Thank you so much. Yes, Carla said, show up and speak up. Absolutely.
Yes. Go to your school board meetings. Go
Yes.
to your city council meetings. Get them to translate stuff right. Like all the gaps you've studied in HLI, like go and do something about them in little ways, right? Like, and get more people to show up. Like, show them that we're here. Show them that we're not going anywhere. And yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. It really is an honor to share not just this space with you, but to be in community with you. So thank you for everything that you do. I appreciate you.
I got you, girl.
Now, to wrap up our time together, we do have a couple more pieces that we want to share with you all. So don't just log off just yet. We still got a little bit more. But we do have a video from our very own Leadership Tulsa board member, an HLI advisory committee member, and an HLI community impact project mentor. Some call her Veronica Martinez. I call her the HLI fairy godmother because she is always here for this program and for anything that comes from it. I have had the privilege of learning from Vero, connecting with her, and working alongside her. So now we're going to hear a few words from HLI Class 1 alum, Veronica Martinez.
The OG.
Yeah.
Good evening. My name is Veronica Martinez, and I am excited to share a little bit with you about my involvement with the Hispanic Leadership Institute, also known as HLI. I was fortunate enough to get involved with HLI when it originated. I was a participant in the first HLI cohort. My participation allowed me to meet and connect with other members of the Latinx community. Had it not been for HLI, I might not have met these members years ago. I found the program to be engaging, motivational, and inspiring. It also challenged me to not only expand my leadership skills, but also to broaden them. My greatest takeaway from the program was the friendships and network I was able to build with other participants from the program. Throughout the years, my involvement with HLI has continued as an advisory board member, a volunteer, a guest speaker, and a mentor. Through these roles, I've not only been able to broaden my network, but I've also been able to contribute to the growth and development of the program. And I've had the opportunity to share my experiences with HLI participants such as HLI 5. I've had the honor to observe all of their excitement and community involvement and initiatives that they have, and to see what they do for our community in their various roles. HLI 5, I commend you for your initiative to serve our community and to expand your leadership skills. I encourage you to continue to engage in community involvement, to uplift one another, and to be inclusive as you learn of new employment opportunity, volunteer opportunities, and as well as community events, even more so in those events in which Latinx representation can make a statement. I challenge you to always aim for the moon. If you miss, you'll only land upon the stars, and you will continue to shine in all that you do. Thank you for all your hard work and for the example that you give to other leaders within our community. It's been a pleasure to work with you.
Oh my goodness. You see, I say fairy godmother, I mean it. She is there 100% every time, is always willing to support. Yes, Vero.
Yes. Every time.
Yes. Now, how are you feeling, Anna? How are you feeling now?
Still hungry, but no, just everything has already been said. Just love, again, seeing our community come together. It's awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we are coming to the end of our time together. For those of you who have logged in and stayed with us for however long you could give to this showcase, thank you. Thank you for logging in to hear about the amazing work being done in our community. If you are interested in the HLI program, the Hispanic Leadership Institute, or honestly any program of Leadership Tulsa, please feel free to check out our website at leadershiptulsa.org. The HLI Class 6 recruitment will start in the summer. So be prepared, be on the lookout. It is coming. I want to thank our sponsors again for giving us this space to learn, to connect, and to continue building up our beautiful city. And again, for those who are logged in virtually now, please know that we will have more events and opportunities to stay connected and to continue in this community that we have built. So please stay connected, check out our Facebook, check out our LT events calendar, and don't log off just yet. I hear there's a surprise at the end. So thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night. Buenas noches, que se cuiden, and thank you.
Gracias.
And 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, we are Hispanic Institute. No, that's also wrong.
What about?
Yeah, love that.
While visiting.
You're good, you're good.
Who are we? We the Hannah Elizabeth Sabot. Who are we? Ay, alguien que me pueda agarrar esto porque estoy volteando para acá.
An advocate for the financial support in the area. That makes sense. Say that.
En acción.
Or follow Tulsa Global. Sorry.
Hi, we are Hispanic. Okay. Hi.
I'm gonna cut that part and then.
Esther Salas, promoting. No, it's promoting.
Representing.
You're adding your touch.
Oh, sorry.
It's recording, so whenever you're ready.
Invest in the residential and commercial opportunities that this diverse area has to offer.
I can be up here. I was trying to get a second one. I can't be up here because I'm so happy.
Okay.
Who are we? We are the Hispanic Leadership Institute Class 5. No dije leadership, ¿verdad? Ay, Dios mío.
So what I'm going to be doing.
Ay, Dios mío.
So what I'm going to be doing is.
You might try that again.
Yes.